So trauma is at the core of a lot of what we do. Where I'm seeing it right now the most for children is all of the screen time they're on. I mean, I'm much older, but it would take a while for one event to travel all over your social network. Seconds now. You could be shamed, you can be spoofed, you can be bullied, and it gets to not only the people you know, but to the world at large. And then people start withdrawing. Then place pandemic on top of that. So the biggest social network that children have is school. What was the first thing we took from them was school. For their own physical safety, of course, but the impact it's going to have for a long time, I think, on their emotional health is going to be pretty tremendous. And not only children, but adults too. Some of us will never again feel safe in the world. I mean, just never again feel safe. We'll start wondering, is it safe to fly? Is it safe to travel? Is it safe to have a meal with people? And because we're so social, we need people. We need people. And there's something real different about screen time with people and this energy we share when we're with each other. So I think that our next big thing once we come out of this pandemic is going to be mental health issues. We're facing a mental health crisis. I don't know if we're quite ready for it, but we're talking about it more, so I think we will be ready. And then what children lost in this year and a half or 2 years. In the life of a child, a year and a half is almost an eternity. Thinking about, the impact that kids have, because they can be traumatized by moving away from their friends, moving into new neighborhoods, not having stable housing, that can traumatize them. And then this was something we had to do. We've isolated them. You don't even get to do what you do to make new friends. You say, hi, my name is Mary. Do you want to play? Well, it's kind of hard to do that if we're doing it on the screen. Or if I've had some issues with neglect or not being attended to, I may not have the confidence to say to the teacher, I don't know how to do this. I may not have good Wi-Fi connection. I may not have good social support at home. And so I don't want to say, my parents don't know how to do my math. Heck, I don't know how to do the math. It was almost embarrassing when I was here. It's like, okay, I can show you how they did it old school, but I don't know what you're doing now. And so these kids have fallen behind. And, we put so much stock on what kind of grades did you get? What are you going to do when you grow up? What grade are you in? And so I have to say to you, well, I'm 12 in the 5th grade or 12 in the 4th grade. So kids then check out. They don't want to be there. Adults check out. They're working from home. They don't know what to do. They also are missing all this social interaction. Even when you hate your job, there's still something of value to go there and talk about the messy people or the people who stole your lunch or whatever. So I think, as we come out of this pandemic, we're going to be better. I think the trauma is definitely there. We've got to deal with it. And we have got to figure out how to trust our medical systems, our politicians, the people we work with. And so, like I said, for some of us, we'll just get right back to it. If you've been to an airport lately, you see there's some people who've gotten right back to it. But there are other people who haven't left their house since last March. They get their food delivered, they get their cleaning delivered. They have not gone beyond the sanctity of their yard. How do you go back to work? How do you go back to school? How do you start speaking to your neighbor again? It's gonna be, we've got the crisis after the crisis.